EMG question of the day. The amplitude of the first dorsal interosseous motor unit action potentials are highest when using a dash needle. A. Facial concentric. B. Regular concentric. C. Regular axial. D. Regular monopolar. This frame compares monopolar and concentric needles based on their recording areas. The monopolar needle's recording area is either 0.28 or 0.34 square millimeters. Concentric needle's recording area is either 0.03 or 0.07 square millimeters. The concentric needle with a recording area of 0.03 square millimeters is often referred to as a facial concentric needle because in adults it is most often used to evaluate small facial muscles. In pediatrics, it is often used to study infants, especially neonates. In a study sampling the first dorsal interosseous, the motor unit action potentials triggered during minimal voluntary contraction captured by concentric needles with a recording area of 0.07 square millimeters had a mean amplitude of 705 microvolts and a mean duration of 7.3 milliseconds, whereas when using concentric needles with a recording area of 0.03 square millimeters, the mean amplitude of the motor unit action potential was 1253 microvolts and the mean duration was 7.2 milliseconds. If you question why the concentric needle with smaller recording area produces a potential with higher amplitude, remember this diagram from question 7 and recall what we said about recording area and electrode. An electrode close to the muscle fiber with a smaller recording area records a higher potential than one with a larger recording area at the same distance from the muscle fiber. Hence, as you have seen in this example, when recording a volational motor unit action potential with a concentric electrode with a recording area of 0.07 square millimeters, the wave will be smaller than if the recording would have been done with a concentric needle with a 0.03 square millimeter recording area. It is worth mentioning that in the same study using monopolar needles with a recording area of 0.34 square millimeters, the mean amplitude was 1200 microvolts and the mean duration 6.9 milliseconds. The bottom line is that while duration is hardly affected by the type of needle used, amplitude is. Notice that the amplitude obtained using a concentric needle with a recording surface of 0.03 square millimeters is about the same as when using a monopolar needle of 0.34 square millimeters, and both amplitudes are about twice as high as when using a concentric needle with a recording area of 0.07 square millimeter. Hence, to minimize error, you must have age control obtained using similar needle type and size to the one you're using. So the answer to this question is A. Thank you very much for your attention.